Welcome to Basketball U. If you're new to Basketball U, make sure you slam dunk that subscribe button. And just to make sure you don't miss a thing, make sure you tap that notification bell right after you hit that subscribe button. Basketball U, what's up? Welcome back. Good to see you. Make sure to hit that like button down below and check out our other episodes of The Role Players. Today, the phrase is heart over height. This role player is so important because he really set the bar for players who always looked at the NBA as impossible in terms of being too small, as always quoted by so many people and coaches when telling a younger player why they can't achieve something in the game of basketball. Before we jump into this role player, we are going to take a stroll down the short player Rolodex of notable basketball players and pay a little homage. Oh yeah, one thing to note, before we go into these smaller hoopers, we also have two slam dunk champions in this group. The highest drafted player to come in under 6 feet tall is Damon Stoudemire, who was taken number 7 overall by the Toronto Raptors back in 1996. Nicknamed Mighty Mouse for his fearsome style of play, Stoudemire was an excellent scorer and distributor in his early career. With the Raptors, Stoudemire averaged 19.3 points and 8.8 assists in 2.5 seasons before being dealt to the Portland Trail Blazers. He played 13 years in the NBA, finishing with career averages of 13.4 points and 6.1 assists per game. He was listed at 5'10", but we didn't know about that, but we will let it slide this time. 5'9" Nate Robinson was drafted number 21 by the New York Knicks in 2005. Not a lot was expected of Nate Robinson. He was seen as a guy who relied on his athleticism and insane jumping ability, which are fleeting skills. While Robinson was never a regular starting point guard, he filled a role as a scorer off the bench. His best season came in 2008 to 2009, when Robinson started just 11 games, but averaged 17.2 points per game for New York. He's also won the NBA All-Star Weekend Slam Dunk Contest 3 times, which is impressive for anyone, much less a guy who is just 5'9". Another player who is also 5'9" is Isaiah Thomas. Despite an excellent run as a scorer in college, teams were wary of taking Isaiah Thomas in the 2011 NBA draft. He fell all the way to the bottom, getting drafted with the 60th pick by the Sacramento Kings. Since then, he's done nothing but score and get better. Now with the Boston Celtics, Thomas is averaging 26 points per game this year and was an NBA All-Star for the first time last season. At just 27 years old, Isaiah Thomas is one of the better scoring guards in the NBA. Another great short player who's 5'6" is Spud Webb. Much like Nate Robinson, Spud Webb is best remembered for his crazy dunking ability. Webb was drafted in the 4th round in 1985, playing his rookie season with the Atlanta Hawks and averaging 7.8 points in 15.6 minutes per game. The best year of his career came in 1991-92 with the Sacramento Kings, averaging 16 points and 7.1 assists per game. Webb won the dunk contest in 1986 and ended his career with 4 games for the Orlando Magic in 97 and 98 when he was 34 years old. Next up, Errol Boykins, 5'5", went undrafted in 1999, no doubt because of his size. He ended up making his NBA debut with the New Jersey Nets that year, and he bounced around the league as a backup and third-string point guard for a while. That is, until he ended up developing into a pretty decent player later in his career. Boykins' best season came when he was 30 years old in 2006 to 2007, averaging 14.6 points for the Denver Nuggets and Milwaukee Bucks. Boykins played until he was 35 years old and retired with averages of 8.9 points and 19.9 minutes per game. This player comes from a city not talked about much during his time of basketball upbringing, but the DMV area is home to some very good basketball players, such as Carmelo Anthony, Rudy Gay, Will Barton, Quinn Cook, and many more. This player paved the way for all the players who don't think they were tall enough and believe to make it in basketball. Basketball U family, we present to you Muggsy Bogues. Tyrone Muggsy Bogues was born January 9, 1965 in Baltimore, Maryland. Bogues was born in Baltimore, Maryland, and grew up in the Lafayette Court housing projects. He was raised by his mother after his father went to prison. He played at Dunbar High School in Baltimore, where he was coached by Bob Wade, later the head coach at the University of Maryland. He was a teammate of future NBA players David Wingate, Reggie Williams, and Reggie Lewis. This is how Muggsy Bogues got his name Muggsy. He and his friends practiced slam dunks in an open bottom milk crate hung on a fence. A coach named Leon Howard steered Muggsy towards organized sports, and Muggsy got another break when he was able to transfer from Baltimore's Southern High School to Dunbar High, a school with a top-flight basketball program. Dunbar star Dwayne Woods dubbed Bogues Muggsy, telling him that his physical style of play reminded him of a mugging. The 1981-82 Dunbar Poets finished the season at 29-0 during Bogues' junior season and finished 31-0 during his senior season, and were ranked first in the nation by USA Today. During his junior and senior year, Dunbar won 59 consecutive games and was ranked as one of the top high school teams in the United States. Muggsy was voted the most valuable player on his team and then in the city's public school league, even though he was sharing the court with 3 other future NBA players: Reggie Williams, David Wingate, and future Boston Celtics star Reggie Lewis. Courted by several top colleges, he enrolled at Wake Forest University in 1983. Muggsy came into his own as a point guard, ranking in the top 10 nationally in assists and averaging nearly 12 points per game. Muggsy played on the U.S. national team that won the World Championship in Spain in 1986, and his senior year at Wake Forest was equally distinguished. The school retired his jersey number after he graduated with a BA degree with an Atlantic Coast Conference record of 579 assists. After a brief stint playing for the Rhode Island Gulls in the USBL, Bogues was drafted 12th overall in the 1987 draft by the Washington Bullets and was part of a talent-laden draft class that also included David Robinson, Reggie Miller, Scottie Pippen, and Kevin Johnson. Coming to the league as the shortest player ever at 5'3", an interesting coincidence happened as the tallest player ever, Manute Bol, was on the same team, standing at a staggering 7'7" tall. He gained plenty of attention with his unique basketball handling skills. He could maintain a legal dribble so close to the ground that his knuckles drag on the floor, and with his higher jumper range, 44-inch leaps on the court. But the Bullets were among the teams that did not know how to exploit Muggsy's talent, and his playing time declined as the season went on. As a result, the Bullets didn't shield him from the expansion draft that occurred when the NBA added teams for the 88-89 season. The Miami Heat and Charlotte Hornets were set to enter the NBA for the 1988-89 NBA season. Despite their weakness at the point guard position, Muggsy Bogues was left unprotected by the Bullets. The Hornets selected Muggsy in the June 22, 1988 NBA expansion draft. As Muggsy settled in Charlotte, he established himself as an exceptional passer, a great stealer, and one of the fastest players on the court. He raised his points per game average to 10 in the 1992-93 season and helped lead the Hornets to their first ever appearance in the NBA playoffs. They made the playoffs again in 1995. Muggsy was sidelined by knee injuries for much of the 1995-96 season, but he bounced back the following year, leading the NBA with an assist per turnover ratio of 4.34. Despite his popularity with the Charlotte fans, especially the young ones, he was traded to the Golden State Warriors early in the 1997-98 season. Muggsy played 2 seasons with the Warriors and then signed as a free agent with the Toronto Raptors, taking them to their first playoff series. This is where he would essentially conclude his career, although he was later traded to both the New York Knicks and Dallas Mavericks. He did not play a single game for either franchise. Muggsy retired from professional play ranking at number 16 among all-time assist leaders in the NBA. He is now currently ranked 23rd, which still leaves him in the top 25 of elite class of guards and superstars. Since leaving the NBA in August 3rd, 2005, Muggsy became head coach of the Charlotte Sting in the Women's National Basketball Association, and later the team folded in January 2007. Most recent, he worked with the Charlotte Bobcats as team ambassador and radio announcer. Currently, Muggsy has assisted thousands of youth from the ages of 12 to 18 at Always Believe Inc., a nonprofit program that focuses on student athletics, leadership development, character building, mentoring, and team building. In 2014, Muggs was named and still currently serves as the Hornets ambassador and special projects advisor. Bogues spent 10 years in Charlotte as the Hornets, led by Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson. Became one of the NBA's most popular teams and a perennial playoff contender. Bogues was one of the most popular players in Hornets history. He is the Hornets' career leader in minutes played with 19,768, 5,557 assists, 1,067 steals, 1,118 turnovers, and 13.5 assists per 48 minutes. Heart over height is definitely what Muggsy showed, as he had a very successful and long career in the NBA. We appreciate the work of this role player, as he has made an impact on the world and in his community. This is Basketball U. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, follow all of our social medias right there in the description to keep yourself up to date, as this channel will have a lot of basketball, a lot of players, and a lot of training and more information on how to play the game of basketball. Remember, someone's always working. Are you?